Hello everybody and welcome back to the Limit of Adhesion. We're here round 2 at Virginia. Dom, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good, thank you. I'm still got itchy feet from the sawdust from last week, but it's recovering nicely, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Looking forward to this one, should be good fun.
Absolutely. Here's the championship standings from last week, with the two QRS boys topping the standings charts there after a great first performance, which puts them at the top of the team standings as well.
They are indeed, and CC Racing just behind them. I do want to apologise to Chris, got his surname wrong. I should be pronouncing that correctly tonight.
If we're not here to butcher names, what are we here for?
Yeah, that's very true. Look at that though, Wizards of Lift and Coast on top there, 1-2 there.
Bringing the heat to QRS this time.
As
and
we
same with qualifying.
Results. You want to run us through that?
Yeah,
Only 9 on the grid.
Yeah, so it's a smaller field this time, but Winslade taking the pole from Molarin, last week's pole sitter, who of course had the terrible start there. Dano Hammond in P3 from Costa, the other wizard, in P4 there. Here we go, ready for the lights.
Here we go indeed. Lights are on, engine notes rising. And we're off. It's a good start from Winslade there, he's getting away in first.
There's a long hold on the lights there, wasn't it? Oh, there's carnage at the back there, a car in the air.
Not sure what happened there, not sure who that was.
Barlow dropped down the order a little bit there, so I wonder if he's had some trouble at the start there. Winslade with a commanding lead through the first corner.
Yeah, he is. They're side by side behind. I think that's Hammond and Molarin battling it out there for second. Yeah,
it looks like Molarin actually dropped back off the start line there, but he's managed to retake his P2 from Hammond.
Did indeed. And this is a 40-minute race, so plenty of time.
What's that going to be, 20 odd laps, 24, something like that?
Around that, I think that sounds about right to me.
Yeah,
we see these nice liveries. I'm liking the look of these, supporting Ukraine, I believe it is.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of blue and yellow on the grid this time, and obviously our thoughts are going out to everyone affected by that right now.
Yes they are indeed. On board with newcomer Anthony McEverly, coming over from the LOA Oval Division, so very warm welcome to you on the roadside.
Absolutely. Come to test his merits on some right turns as well as the left.
He has indeed. So looking on board with Molarin, hunting the slipstream. Chasing Gareth down to see what we can do. The gap's about 1.5 seconds, so he's got his work out. But cold tyres, remember, so don't want to spin it.
Big gap pull from Winslade there. That's a really impressive opening lap for him. Or half a lap.
It is indeed. Yeah,
Such a long lap here at Virginia.
It is, as we're back on board with Dano in P3, battling Molarin. Couldn't make it stick there. A bit of a lock-up from Costa behind, so that's a 1-4 for Wizards Lift and Coast currently.
Yeah, absolutely, and no Stott on the grid this week for QRS.
No, that's unfortunate.
Hammond wide. Very wide, in fact, it's still up in the weeds.
Going exploring there.
The track says sends a postcard, says come back and visit us soon.
It does indeed.
Oh, and it's dropped him right far down though. Look how much time he's lost there.
Oh, that's gutting. He was looking good as well. Let's see what we can do. Long race.
Yeah, lots of time to recover. That's one of the beauties about this new format with the longer races. Even if you do have a bit of a problem at the start. Oh, speaking of, Winslade off there.
Can he rejoin cleanly? Yes, nice and safe rejoin as we see Molarin now taking the lead.
Yeah, absolutely. You can just see in the mirrors though that Wizards car in the mirror dancing around behind him still. Beautiful chopper shot here through the sweeping S's.
Lovely. Look at
Winslade. Fantastic draft there in behind Molarin.
He's very
retakes pole. Oh! Contact through the S's. Oh, and that's ripped a wheel off.
Is that Molarin's wheel off?
Has that done a classic netcode reconnect there? I definitely thought Molarin's really front left.
That did come off, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we see Roberto back into the lead now after that, so he'll say thank you very much. It's a shame because Gareth was looking good. He was odds on.
Yeah, that's a really unfortunate incident there. It looks like maybe he just pinched in a little bit too much, didn't quite account for
I'm not too sure. Bit of contact there. Sorry, he's in the pit, so after that contact there, so let's see. That's going to be a toe, isn't it? It's going to be
it looks like a toe job there.
That's unfortunate.
Unfortunate for Barlow at the start there as well. We identified the car in the background, and just looking at the map, you can see how far sort of off the pack he is there. Be a lonely race for him.
Maybe a spin. Oh, another lock up or something as we're on board with Chris Forrester. No Chris White tonight, unfortunately.
No, I think he's away somewhere Southeast Asia kind of region. Lovely jolly holiday.
Enjoy. So that's completely changed the order now. So there was the two protagonists right at the back of the grid now. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Dan Hill now up to P2 as well, so good climb for Dan. So up 4 positions
definitely.
from the grid. You can see on the battle box down at the bottom right there.
Indeed. Molarin still going though, so I thought the wheel came off. That's impressive. So he's back out on track. Oh, someone off in the background there. I think that was Rich.
Yeah, Mister's just dropping down the order there. I mean, you could argue that the wheels did come off from Molarin a little bit, even if just metaphorically.
They did. Here he is. Let's see. Any visible damage?
Looks to be tracking alright, doesn't it? There's no crabbing going on.
No, I was looking at the front wing there to see, but it looks all right.
Yeah.
It appears he's come off unscathed. I'm not sure how he's managed that.
No, especially with quite a fast section of track as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'm
Very
not sure.
lucky.
We'd have to get a replay and see. Maybe we'll get that later on or at the end of the race.
So Hammond now putting the pressure onto to Rich Meesters.
Yep, after his off track. Oh, speaking of the devil. there
Oh,
he is.
he's
Off.
made the
Did he
fence
hit
as
wall?
well there, yeah. All the way.
Oh.
Oh, and a wheel again. 2 wheels, in fact.
That'll be another toe job, unfortunately. So we're looking at Dan here being chased by Chris Forrester.
That's
Big
one
lock up from
thing
Chris
I
there.
really wish iRacing had changed is the death grass, you know?
It's not even grass anymore, is it?
It's just like ice.
It's just ice. Yeah. So we're looking at Chris here chasing down Dan Hill.
It's like the grass physics is modelled on absolutely saturated wet grass. As soon as you get on it, you've just got no chance.
Oh, it just ruins it, especially around here when it's literally just tarmac and grass. That's it, you know.
Chris
Well, Roberto's
just...
got a nice gap, about 5 seconds. So
Yeah, absolutely.
clear air.
Chris
Quite-
just
quite
sizing
nice.
up his opponent here as he's chasing down Dan.
He is indeed. Gonna enjoy this battle. Let's hope they can keep it clean though, because we're only 5 minutes into the race after all.
Yeah, absolutely. So only 5 minutes in, we've already had, what, 2 or 3 cars in the pits and towing.
Yeah, it's not good, but at least, let's put it this way, all the guys will be scoring points, so
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
maybe they can go for it.
Of course, there is one fast repair available for the drivers, which would have
That's
to
very
assume that
true.
Winslade and it was Meesters, wasn't it, we saw hit the wall.
Yes.
So we'd assume they've both used theirs.
No more crashes from them, or else it will be sitting in the pits for a while.
What did you think to Virginia? Have you driven it, Ollie?
I drove it for the first time, and I've got to say it's a tough track. Really, really tough track. Very up and down, and smallest mistake and you're just off. And the tree as well. The tree's not there in real life, unfortunately, but it makes it very difficult. You can't actually see the apex.
Yeah, challenge for sure. It almost looks to me a kind of track that would be better suited to sort of a slower, maybe like a tin top. I could just imagine like a Mini Cooper race around this would be absolutely amazing.
Yes, I agree with that. Oh, maybe even the Skippy. Skippy might be quite fun around here.
Yeah, true. Maybe too long of a lap for a Skippy though. I'm not sure. As that
see
was
Chris
Chris
off
in
there.
it. Yeah, just off behind.
Saved it though.
It was a little bit wide. Lost about a second in that, but should still be able to keep Hill honest.
Yeah. Looking at Dano here. Chasing down Molarin. McEverly up 5 places from the back of the grid. That's quite impressive.
Yeah, that's really good. It's just sort of going to show at the minute. Just sort of having a clean race can really pay dividends for these drivers.
Oh, look at his livery though. Stunning livery, the Marlboro livery. I like the look of that.
So it looks like a throwback tribute to the Schumacher days and with the
It
red and
does
white
indeed,
Marlboro.
Yes. And the red helmet to match, of course. Switch over to Dan Hill now.
Yeah, Chris just slowly dragging back up onto the back of him, so got the gap from, I think it's sort of peaked at 1.1 after he ran wide there, and it's back down to 9/10-ish
Yeah, he's
now.
in the draft, isn't he? So he's obviously going to be closing in.
In fact, the battle box is scoring them at, well, half a second now, in fact, so Chris is
You can
really
see
putting...
it. Look,
yeah,
he's
absolutely.
going for it.
Wonder if that's a difference in the setups there.
Could be. What do you reckon? A low downforce set?
I don't really know, because there's so many sort of sweeping, twisty sections, but
Yeah,
they're also
that's
high
true.
speed, so you sort of need the downforce. So what a
There he
run
goes.
from Chris. Shows the nose, and looks to have got the move done.
He's clear. That was a great move. I thought he was backing out though. He's
Yeah.
just sticking his nose and just saying hello.
Hello, I'm here.
Give me some space, please.
Yeah,
And
but
he's
Dan...
just blasted past there. Let's see if Dan can do anything. Maybe he's just trying to save the tyres. And yeah.
Yeah, Dan was happy to sort of leave the door open and let him go by the looks of it there. Maybe he's happy to follow for a little bit rather than being chased.
Looking at Molarin now, chasing down Anthony. Oh no, into the pits. I think he's using his fast repair, right?
Potentially. I mean, how long would the tank last in these cars? Maybe about... Yeah, we're maybe inside the pit stop window. We'll maybe be able to get it home.
Seems a bit early to me. He must have damage. Maybe steering's slightly out of sync.
Front wing does look a little bit bent actually now as the car's at slower speed.
Yeah.
This doesn't just look like a fast repair though, that looked like some fuel as well.
I can't see the people. I think iRacing need to update that so we can see the refueling the car, just like in NASCAR. I think it's really cool actually.
Yeah, it's a nice little graphical effect they've added, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I actually saw a promotional video for the, I think it was the new stock cars that are coming to the service the other day, and they've actually animated the driver's right foot to actually press the accelerator, which I thought was pretty cool.
I noticed that in the TCR actually.
Maybe it's the TCR I'm getting confused with.
No, I noticed it in the TCR. You can really see them coming off the throttle and everything. It's quite cool.
Yeah, it's a
Dan's
really
got
nice
a great
addition.
run here. I think Chris went a little bit wide. Here we go.
Yeah, the roles are reversed this time around.
They are indeed, yeah.
Such a long draft here. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Oh no, Chris comes back on the brakes.
I spoke too soon. Far too early.
Absolutely. Dropped the anchors there, Chris, to get the position back there.
That was quite impressive.
So Dan will either need to come up with another plan for next time on the straight, or maybe try a different part of the track.
I think Chris is just more confident on the brakes there. Looking at Dano chasing Anthony at P4.
Yeah, it's a little sections of drivers, little battles starting to form around the track.
Yeah. I'm just looking at Roberto's lap times. It's just like, he's a second up.
Yeah, that gap's just growing and growing, isn't it, to be fair? In fact, Costa is slowly closing up on the back of Barlow to put a lap on him, in fact.
Yeah, as we see Dano getting past there, I want to say. I think he got past, yeah. Yeah, he did, because Anthony was in P4, so he's only up 4 places now in P5.
Still sort of climbed almost half a grid, though, from the starting position.
Yeah, that's quite impressive, exactly.
Winslade is back out on track now, but 3 laps down.
3 laps, yeah.
I wonder if he didn't take his fast repair by mistake then and has just actually repaired it. It's even with the tow time, it's surprising.
He did have to tow, didn't he? How long's the tow? About 2-3 minutes, I want to say?
It varies track by track, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's true, but the lap time here is about 1:43, 1:45, so 2.5 minutes seems about right to me.
I thought generally a tow time should lose you about a lap, if that makes sense, but then the fast repair obviously should fix you instantly, so... Yeah, I'm not sure what's happened there. As Rich just sort of has a quick excursion off the road there, a couple of wheels on the grass.
You're not on a skateboard, Rich.
Manages to gather it up though and survive.
Yeah, and speaking of Gareth, here he is. So this isn't a very popular track on the service, is it? Hence why we've got so few drivers out, unfortunately, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I must admit it's not a track that I own either. It just seems to pop up in the public races so infrequently. Yeah, it's not like your Spas or somewhere like that, you know.
Not value for money then.
No, probably not. Here is Winslade.
It's unfortunate. It's a good little track though, I think.
Yeah, no, like we said about it, it's an absolute roller coaster ride with the different elevation changes and really suited to some classes of car, I'd say. It's surprising really that iRacing don't use it more for public races, but maybe with the unforgiving nature of it.
Yeah, that's very true.
Maybe they like to
not an easy track.
Protect the races a little bit more and save everyone's safety rating a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were on board with Winslade a second ago, and he was catching up the back of, was it Hammond he was catching up on there?
Where was he on the track now? Yeah, I think so. I think you're right there.
So
seems to be gapping Dan. What is it? Just under a second?
Yeah, since he made that move stick, he has gapped him, you're right, yeah.
But speaking of that, why is the gap to Roberto only 1.3 seconds? Roberto must have been off track.
Yeah.
Gone for an excursion. Gone for an adventure, I should say.
There must be something happened there. We last clocked it about 6 seconds, didn't we? So
yeah, we did.
He's lost some time somewhere there.
Hmm.
You can see they are. You can see all 3 sort of in the shot here now. We're on board with Dan Hill.
Yes.
Chris just ahead, and you can see Roberto down the road there, just the other side of the antennae.
Yeah, absolutely. All back on for the win now.
Bit of a lock-up from Chris.
Yeah, really big.
Seems to be a popular corner for it, that. Is there a bit of an elevation change there? Just unloads that front lock, right?
Also. Yeah. You can just see it's quite blind as well, obviously it's like a roller coaster, as some would say, dropping up and down, left and right.
Yeah. Must be one of those kind of tracks where it's really hard to master.
Absolutely. I was going to say it's going to be quite the experience in VR.
Yes, absolutely. You can see on the track map all the drivers are slowly sort of clumping back together.
Yeah.
Almost in the same sector again.
Oh dear, that's Roberto going
from the lead.
Trip off. That's just gifted Chris Forrester the lead there. I'll say thank you very much.
Absolutely. Chris will take those all day long. So into the lead for Forrester for CC Racing.
See if Dan can do anything. Roberto's obviously struggling. What do you reckon? He's got dirt on his tyres. He's got to scrub them back in again.
Yeah, potentially. Maybe just in the lead, just sort of felt the need to keep trying to push after we presumed there was an initial mistake happened, but obviously we clocked in with this 6-second gap. He could have just sort of relaxed a little bit.
Backed off a little bit, right?
Yeah, almost just cruised to the finish from there, but...
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
All part of the learning process of these drivers, of course.
It is. That's why they're in their separate race, so, they're free to do what they want. See, Roberto's, they're all pretty close. They're within 2 seconds of each other. 1.5 seconds, I beg your pardon. So they're all pretty close.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to sort of push each other all the way to the pit stop now. We could have a really good tight second half of the race.
Yeah, that's very true. Speaking of that, what's the fuel limited to? Remember, 34.5? So, what do you reckon? Underfuel the car and just split it? Or, the pit stop time's not that long, is it? So...
It's always tricky with that, because if you underfuel the car, then you're absolutely pinned onto a definite lap that you've got to pit, so you can't use any in-race strategy. But then, of course, with these F3s, taking the fuel out does make a big difference to their lap time. So maybe you would want to run 2 halves of a lighter car, but then if you're caught behind someone, you've got less opportunities for undercuts and pit strategies. So yeah, so it's going to be a tricky one with these cars.
And that's... Is it Curse of P1?
It is the P1. We saw the P2. Oh, and Chris has gone all the way around now. Lucky not to get collected. Yeah.
That was really close.
We saw the Curse of P2 last time out at Nürburgring, and now it's the Curse of P1. Indeed. That is so far Winslade from the lead, then Costa from the lead, and now Forrester from the lead.
Molarin getting a little bit of trigger happy, I should say, with the throttle there, squirming about.
Would be interested to see if Molarin can play himself back into this, because we've seen him pit already. If he's doing a bit of fuel saving through the second half, maybe he doesn't need to pit again.
Well, I was going to say, it looks like it's just track temp. I want to say it's a hot track and these guys are just struggling. Or is it simply having lack of track time, people struggling with the layout or, just not driven the track before? Yeah,
potential. Like we said, with it being a less popular track, it's not the kind of track that the drivers will have visited a lot just in public races.
No, that's very true. Yeah, that's true.
And it's not exactly a short track with not many corners to have to try and learn, is it? It's one of the longest, I think, that must be on the service.
Yeah. Exactly that. How are we looking? Molarin P6. So everyone behind him is a lap... Well, we got a lap down for Rich, 3 laps down for Gareth, and Joe's about 1 minute 30 behind, so...
Yeah, I am really intrigued to see if Molarin can play himself back in, as McKeever is off the road there. You can see he's gone red on the track map. So that's might
quite a cool graphic,
gift Molarin the position here if he can't get it rolling in time. It's moving again, but not quite up to speed. You see him just up the road there.
Yeah. Looks like he's recovered that one.
So presumably a spin or something in that little chicane section.
Absolutely.
And Barlow has just gone blue. I think that's a...
Not sure what's going on there, but Molarin off the track in the last corner.
He's definitely pushing hard to try and make up the gap, isn't he?
Wow, that wouldn't have helped to close the gap up. In fact, that's extended the gap out.
Absolutely. All that work he's put in. As we see Winslade from the lead, now lapping by himself 3 laps down.
I think Dan's made a mistake, because I just clocked the gap at 5 seconds, and that's back down to 2.
Costa was in the lead before last time we saw him. So Costa's fallen out of the lead again, potentially, with a 2-second gap now.
Not entirely sure on that one, to be honest with you.
Because after Forrester went off the road, Costa re-inherited the lead.
Yeah, it's all changed. I'd like to see
It is the curse
Another
of
look at
P1. Dan Hill needs to watch out here.
Be careful, Dan.
And I think, again, it just goes into the nature of this track. It is a tricky track to learn, you know. It's a tricky track to stay on top of.
Yeah, really, really difficult. Coming up to about halfway in the race anyway, so let's see. They've done the hard part. Just keep going, guys. Only halfway to go.
Well, I think surviving the first lap or so, getting the heat in the tyres, probably the hardest things in these F3s, isn't it?
It's not even one lap though, is it? It's quite a few.
Well, yeah, but I mean, sort of off the start line, we've seen a lot of incidents through the seasons.
Sketchy, isn't it? Yeah.
So you can see the gap here. This is on board with Hill looking back towards Costa with Forrester just behind him.
Well, looking at the lap times there, look at that. 3 seconds. Costa was faster than Dan Hill last time by.
Yeah, absolutely. So we thought maybe Dan had an issue that lap.
Yeah, I mean, Winslade's still showing his pace. He must have taken the fast back because he's just on the 41.7, so... See what we can do. 3 laps down? Is 3 laps a bit too much for us?
I think... Oh, is that Barlow, is it? Or is that Costa?
I think Costa.
No, it is Barlow. I was going to say, I thought I clocked the livery, but then I saw Costa was dropping down the order. So he's lost a position in that at least.
P1. I'm not going to lie, I thought that was P1 curse again.
Barlow has rejoined, you can just see on the tracker there. So that's extended the gap for Hill. That's dropped Costa so far back now. He took 3 seconds out of Hill that last lap around, and now he's 8 seconds down. So really held up in that incident.
Yeah, they're really struggling. Really, really struggling. Just got to play it in your own, being like, just calm down, take it easy. There's still a long way to go. But
yeah, absolutely.
You know, when you see that car in front of you, you got to go for it, right? You got to put the pedals to the metal and charge.
What do you do if you're Dan Hill right now? If you're your driver coach in Hill, so we've seen him in the lead. He's potentially lost 3 seconds from a potential mistake the lap before. What do you say to him?
Just say calm your nerves. Just calm down. Let's focus and just run some decent laps. Don't get any off tracks. Just keep it smooth.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just stay focused.
Because at the minute in this race, the only way that the lead is changing right now is from mistakes from the leading driver. It
is. It is.
So keeping it smooth, keeping it consistent. Keep it on the grey stuff. That's what it's there for.
I mean, just looking at lap times, he's 10th up on Chris Forrester, and obviously Costa's mistake, well, getting caught in the incident, gave him a 48.2, so that's 5 seconds. Is Molarin going for another trip?
Whoa!
How did the wheel not fall off there?
No idea, but there's front wing damage there.
And he must have used the fast repair. That front wing is toasted.
Yeah, that's a problem for Molarin there. That's really unfortunate.
Joe, you've got no wing. What are you doing?
He maybe isn't aware of it right now. We're about to see a high-speed F3 plane crash.
Let's hope not. You can definitely feel a difference with no front wing, though, surely.
Only in the first corner, I'd say, though. He's not really had to do a proper corner since then, has he? And to feel the downforce or lack thereof.
Yes, lack of downforce, we should say.
So on board with Costa, yeah. I was just about to say he was going to be under pressure from Hammond before, but then I saw Hammond did just go off track. Oh, I thought Costa was going off there. So he's not got that pressure from Hammond now as Hammond's fallen back again.
No, he's okay.
Putting time into Forrester now again is Costa. That gap again last time I looked was 8 seconds.
Yeah, it's ebbing and flowing, isn't it? It's ebbing and flowing.
The drivers are definitely pushing, trying to maintain the gap, trying to keep the pace up.
Absolutely. Can you see that? So blind there, just turning in and just being like, am I going to make the corner?
Hoping and praying.
Yeah, exactly that, yeah. Looking at Rich now. Bit lonely in P8 being a lap down. Let's see if he can catch Joe. What's the gap? About 7 seconds? That might be doable. These guys haven't pitted yet, have they? So
absolutely. I think the only driver that might be able to make it on fuel is Molarin, but we've just seen him with a damaged car anyway, so I'd...
Oh, no. Sorry. Rich had to tow because he hit it in the tight tree.
That's true, actually, and that was around about the same time as we see Barlow is in the pits now. So that is a change for position. Rich has got past Joe now.
Car looks alright, actually. I think it was just a spin.
Yeah, this just looks like a fuel stop. Oh, is he out of fuel? Oh, there we go. Maybe
just... he didn't know where the box was.
Yeah, maybe just didn't want to overshoot. The car's gone up on the
jacks. Is that a mistake? It looks like he's taking tyres there.
Very quick stop, regardless, though, for a tyre stop. Normally it seems to take an eternity to change the tyres on these cars, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
You know instantly if you've forgotten to untick the box, you just sit there. Yeah.
It's Molarin in.
So let's see what happens with this front wing then. Is it going to get instant repaired, or is he going to be sitting there a while? Was fast repaired there by the looks of it.
Missed the box, I think.
That was weird. Did you see it? Like his front wing instantly repaired, but then he had to back up into the box.
That was really weird. Really weird. A few glitches
he is
on iRacing.
Still sitting there. This looks like a longer than fuel stop to me, is it? It's sort of creeping, but not moving. Yeah, what's going on?
I'm not really sure what's going on. That's peculiar.
Alright, so Hill's still in the lead there. We just saw that lock up in that same corner as we've been sort of reporting on all race there.
Can we just refer to that as lock-up corner?
Lock-up corner, I like it. So we've got the oak tree, and Hammond is red on the track map. Looks like a spin or an off-track from P4.
Oh, that's a shame.
Got it going again now. And Molarin's still in the pit, so yeah, it looks like he has used his fast repair and now having to sit there and wait for the front wing to be repaired.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him.
It potentially even got meatballed in that, but just went the extra lap if the car was feeling alright, as we see Dano now in the pits as well. And Joe's still in the pits too.
Yeah, because how long do you have before you can serve a meatball? Is it 3 laps?
Well, I think you got to pit on the 3rd lap. So you
pit on the 3rd lap.
Yeah.
So you don't have to come in instantly, but obviously you could feel a difference.
Incidentally, you can finish a race with a meatball without getting a penalty.
Oh really? I didn't know that. That's interesting. Well, Chris Forrester's closed up.
Yeah, that gap is in Costa again behind. So they're sort of concertina at the front, and right now it's a closing concertina.
It is. I'm just looking at Roberto as well. He's closing in. He was, what, about 8 seconds?
8 seconds 8 point something after the... Well, we saw Barlow spin in front, didn't we? And he lost all that time and the position.
Yeah. Nowhere to go.
Slowly crawling it back here.
Yes, indeed.
And again, you can see him on the map. So Winslade's just sort of tagging onto the back of these guys, even though he's just those few laps down. I'm sure he'll want to find someone to race with, because he should ideally have been right up with these guys, shouldn't he?
Well, Gareth's got the fastest lap. I think last time by did a 41.6, so he's definitely got the pace. Just really unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely. Here we are into lock-up
corner.
And we saw the absolute obligatory lock-up from Dan ahead. You can see that gap now as Forrester is slowly closing him down. 1.2, 1.3 under acceleration. Same thing, we've seen this gap at sort of 3 or 4 seconds.
We have, but I think Forrester made a slight mistake because Roberto's closed up again. It's about 1.6 seconds now.
So this race might be decided in the pit stop then. Who's going to do the cleanest in lap, the cleanest transit through pit lane, not take tyres by mistake, or maybe take tyres if you want the advantage maybe on the pace, but it will lose a lot of time in the pits. And then of course the outlap as well, trying to get the heat back into the tyres after sitting still.
But it's when do you pit? Remember, because they've got quite a lot. If they went for the full fuel, which is 34.5, they've got quite a lot of fuel, so they might be pitting quite late into the race.
Yeah, potentially, but of course you only need to add in the remaining laps, so once that fuel is burnt off, so I'd have thought maybe about 10 laps in, you could probably squeeze in the rest of the tank, maybe.
Car would be quite heavy though, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah, and that's what we're saying about sort of 2 half tanks would probably be a faster car for the race duration.
Yep, as we see Anthony.
Yeah, there we go. So the first of the top, first of the top 4 into the pits then, and Joe's still in the pits as well, so potential problem happened for him.
Maybe Joe retiring the car? He said that's enough.
Yeah, we didn't see what happened to him off the start there, so maybe he used a fast repair early on, and Molarin is also still sitting there.
I think Molarin just said his game over. So saying out on the timing tower, so I think he's had enough.
Yeah, that's true. Although Barlow is still showing as just in pit lane as opposed to retired, so...
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure on that one.
So Winslade from 3 laps down is slowly actually climbing up the order here.
He is indeed. Yeah, that's very true.
It does go to show sometimes it is worthwhile staying in the car, getting the car repaired, and doing the laps. 2 dropped rounds through this championship, of course, so it's a season of 8 races. 2 of those, or sort of your 2 worst scores, are dropped.
So there's a chance to come back, so,
As Winslade now takes position from Molarin, who's in the pits.
P6 for Gareth.
A lot of understeer there. You see how much lock he had on? The car was still travelling in a straight line.
It's going to break your wrist, isn't it? That was the full lock there.
It's, well, speaking about broken joints and ligaments and such, probably a quick shout out for Sam Stott. I hope your shoulder recovers soon.
Yes, get well soon, Sam.
We
want you back racing with us.
GT problem recently.
quite a nasty injury as well. Sim racing is dangerous. Just want to put that out there.
Beautiful shot of Dan coming through in the lead there. You can see the gap now to Forrester though. So it looks like Dan's lost about a second this lap, hasn't he?
Yeah,
the start finish, it was like 1.5.
Oh, really close. What do you reckon? He's going to do a bit of weaving?
I'm not sure. That's a top split only kind of strat, that isn't it?
Is it? Oh, okay.
No, decides for no defence whatsoever on the back straight. It was such a long straight uphill here. Look at the run Forrester's getting.
Now we know Forrester's late on the brakes. Is he going to go for it? Thinks about it.
Shows the nose. Did you see the paint peel off on the brakes that time? You know, we were chatting about it last time out.
I did. Lock up corner. There we go. Another lock up.
Keeping it true to its name. So all the top three inside 1 second right now. This is a great race shaping up. And Dan's gone wide. Gives Forrester the lead. The P1 curse.
Oh, the P1 curse continues. What is that? Just touching the grass. Death grass.
Is he going to pit, sort of make the most out of a bad situation? He does. It's probably a good shout. I'd have done the same thing there.
Good man. Just get in. I mean, hopefully you don't get a black flag for unsafe pit entry. I think it's alright because it's before the white line, right?
Yeah, I'd have thought that would be fine. So Chris Forrester back in the lead then, being chased down by Costa, who's come back from a good few seconds down.
Yeah, really
right on the tails again.
As we know, the curse of P1 lives on. That's really unfortunate.
Can these drivers survive until the pit stop and hopefully break that curse? Can't be long until the box now.
No, they're going to be in soon, aren't they? I mean, well, we've got Dan Hill back in. He's back in third, so he's recovered. That's all right. But I mean, he's 30 seconds off now. Obviously, he has pitted, right?
Yeah, exactly. He's got now the pit stop in hand over the other guys, so we'd expect they won't lose that much time, of course, because well, as long as they stay on track, because Dan had the excursion. But hopefully, the top three will still be quite close together after they've all come out of the pits.
Because the pit stop, even to refuel about 20 litres, is literally a splash and dash. It's about 3 seconds, right? And it's gone.
Yeah, it's not very long whatsoever, as Costa runs a little bit wide on exit there, coming onto the back straight. So that will hurt his run a little bit.
That's incredible. That's quite incredible, actually, you know, deaf grass.
Yes, absolutely.
We see Gareth in the background as well. I wonder if he can close up, because he has been running quite good lap times, quite consistent, you know. Yeah,
it's the kind of race where lock-up corner, where of course Winslade's only racing for freebies right now, but it's paid dividends. He's got 3 positions so far just by continuing to circulate. So the points kind of go up exponentially as we see Costa into the pits from P2. So potentially looking at an undercut for Forrester then, because Forrester's gone for the extra lap.
Well, I'm not sure when he's going to come in. As
Winslade has another fastest lap.
He's gunning for that fastest lap point.
Absolutely. He'll be kicking himself for that mistake early on.
Yeah, contact with Molarin, right?
Yes.
And Costa's away again.
So nice quick pit stop, and you can see now the gap to Hill. So has Hill gone off again? Because he's still about 30 seconds down.
I'm not too sure. I'm just looking at the track map. I mean, Costa's just had a free stop, right? Yeah, he has. Look at 48.
That's just updated there, so 10 seconds on Hill, which is probably about the time that he lost in that off-track just before he pitted. So all eyes on Forrester now, seeing when he makes his stop.
Yeah, I mean, these guys know the ins and outs of the track now. Like they know, you know, the grass. They know the quickest lines and everything.
Molarin knows where to find the little jumps off track.
He does.
Use with caution.
Proceed with caution, yes.
So we saw each driver's fastest lap flash up a second ago there, and Winslade is holding on to that fastest lap of the race point as it stands.
Yeah, I think that's just, you know, like a consolation prize, really.
Yeah, well, of course, he's got the qualifying the qualifying point as well for P1. No lockups that time in lockup corner.
No, that was rather impressive.
Yeah, that's quite disappointing, to be honest.
It's not locked up corner that time, by. Maybe next time we shall see.
So Winslade then starting to close up on Forrester, maybe just going to try and put him under pressure for his teammate Costa, see if he can force Chris into a mistake, which would give Winslade's teammate potentially the lead back again.
Bit of team tactics, but I mean Chris hasn't pitted yet, so, you know.
Interested to know if Gareth does still need to stop again, because obviously he had that incident very early on. I wouldn't have thought he'd be able to fill the tank and get home from there, so potentially going to see Winslade in as well.
But he's got to be careful, because this is the leader, obviously. He's going to have the blue flag, but he can still overtake because he is faster, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It'd need to be a clean move from Winslade, but Yeah,
Yes.
he could just sit behind Forrester, try and put him under pressure, see if he can force a mistake.
No punty. We don't want a repeat of Dirty Winslade again.
Absolutely not. But right now, just enjoying the draft. Maybe going for multiple fastest laps in a row. Just try and put it above and beyond, out of reach of the rest of the drivers. Maybe.
Just say, look, I had the pace, guys. It was just, an unfortunate incident that meant I didn't have the chance to get it. I mean,
Indeed.
just looking at the standings there, what have we got? Barlow, Hammond, Molarin all out of the race. So it's only 6 cars on track.
Winslade has stopped coming out of the Oak Tree corner.
Oh, pushing too hard then. Let's give him Forrester a bit of breathing space. I'm sure he'll be relieved.
There goes any fastest lap attempts that we were bigging up for. Of course, he's already got the accolade in the bag for now. It's lock-up corner. We see
Lock-up
Chris
corner.
still not pitted then as Chris. He's really
No.
stretching this fuel out.
I wonder if the other guys short-fueled it. They must have done, right?
Is he going to try a no-stop?
I mean, how easy is it to fuel save in these? Because I didn't think it was that easy, was it?
I'm not entirely sure, but this race is slightly shorter than the top split race, this being a 40-minute race as opposed to the 27 laps, so this is time certain. Yeah. So potentially with the same fuel tank, maybe Chris has realised and is just going to go for a no-stop, maybe.
Yeah, I mean...
He's showing no signs of pitting so far, is he?
No, exactly. If he can pull it off, I mean, credit where credit's due, that's very impressive, because that's,
sort of reading the details,
isn't it? We haven't seen it been done
it?
yet, have we, though? We haven't seen it been done. I mean, obviously, last race, they all pitted because I don't think the fuel was possible, but this being a slightly shorter race, I want to say, might be doable,
Yeah, absolutely. We travel to Watkins Glen next, which has got a lot of sort of long straights into heavy braking zones, which tend to be the best for trying to do a bit of lift and coast into the corners, so... Yeah,
just clutch in, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. But if we see Forrester making it work today, then maybe that might inspire some repeat performances next time out.
That's very true indeed, yeah. Looking at Dan here. Chasing down Rich. Unfortunately, it's not for position after his, I want to say mistake, just touching the grass on the outside of the last corner, right?
It's just so unforgiving, isn't it? Like, you got 2 wheels out there, you just lose your steering. It doesn't slow down, absolutely no chance.
It just sucks. It's just, it's horrible to see because like these guys were having such a great battle for first, second, third. I was really enjoying it. It's just unfortunate.
Absolutely, as you see Dan Hill here, chasing down. Well, he's just behind Meisters, yeah, like we said. So 12 seconds to Costa, who's for position.
Rich just says, "There you go, have it."
Yep. Got the blue flag pulled over, waved him past, said, "Off you go. Go chase P2."
Go and get him.
Absolutely.
Because what is it? 70 points for the win.
70 points for the win, 1 point for pole position, and 1 point for the fastest lap in the race.
Yep.
59 points for P2 and 52 points for the third podium spot.
I'm glad you know that. I can tell you.
The spreadsheet life.
Yes. Looking at Chris. Just the gap 20 seconds, so...
He's just cruising, isn't he? Is that what this one of the C's in CC racing stands for? Cruise racing?
Cruise racing, yes.
Costa's not cruising though, pushing hard. No. Locks up and heads off the track a little bit there. He'll lose a little bit of time to Hill behind, but probably will be insignificant.
Not to spin it though, hasn't he? He's been really lucky not to spin.
Yeah, because we've seen that Wizard's car off the track a couple of times, haven't we?
We have indeed, yeah. Unforgiving track, that's what it is. Looking forward to Watkins next time.
Yeah, Watkins a bit more forgiving, like we said, to sort of repeat the word we've just been saying.
And we got the new off tracks there, haven't we?
Well, the complete new scan, wasn't it, Watkins recently in the last build?
New scan, yeah.
My favourite's just the changed colour of the curb in. That yellow and blue just looked a bit outdated and old, and we've got the fresh red and yellow.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wide in turn 1 anymore, but there's a few other places you can go completely off the circuit, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm not sure it's any faster, to be honest, but you can go out there if you want to.
That'll be coming up in 2 weeks' time.
Absolutely. Top split and Club 15. Oh, Chris is in. So he didn't make the fuel
work.
Time,
though, I wonder if that's a really late stop.
Really late stop. We can see Costa on the track. Well, here he is on screen, in fact. So just about to come round the final double right-hander onto the start-finish straight.
Come on, Chris. You better get going.
Yeah,
The
you can see
154
Forrester's
in that.
blob in the pits there. It's still not moving. It's still not gone solid.
Pit
Here he
exit.
is.
Looking in the mirror. Where is he?
There he is. Costa back into the lead of the race then.
That was unfortunate. I really thought Chris was going for the no stop. Let's see what he can do. What do you reckon? Do you think this is the final lap of the race?
I think we're probably not on white flag right now. I think probably one more lap after this one.
I haven't seen Barney the flagman, so
Absolutely.
one more.
Barney's just having a rest for now still. Sunbathing like Alonso did after that race when he crashed out.
Yes, he did on the deck chair.
On board with Costa looking back at Forrester, and you can see that gap is already up to about a second. Costa really used that overrun coming down the pit straight.
What do you think then? What's in Chris's mind? Settle for the P2 or just go for it? Absolutely gun it. You can see P1 just ahead of him, less than a second. What would you do?
If I've just led those laps and I can see P1 ahead of me, I'm in the slipstream, you've got to push. The only thing that I'm sort of concerned about for Chris is the fact that obviously the tyres have just cooled down on pit straight, so he's probably just not got the put. And the car's heavier now, of course, as well. It's not just the tyres.
The tyres aren't up to temp, are they?
Oh, McKivley goes really wide there. Keep it out of the barrier. You can see the tyres are completely locked on the front. You don't slow down. You don't steer at that point. Just the death grass.
Just got to accept your fate, right?
Yeah, just wait for the car to either come to a stop by itself or hit something, basically.
Yeah. It's not a nice feeling, is it?
No. Another half a second for Costa, though, in the front there. So he's putting time into Forrester.
He is indeed. Where's Barney? And there we go, one white flag. Oh no, is that
Checkered
finished?
flag, in fact.
Checkered, I thought that was white.
There we go then. Costa for the win. Taking it on the final lap. As Forrester exited the pits. He'll be disappointed with that, I think, Chris.
Yeah, I was going to say, Chris must be kicking himself after that one.
It's the classic snatch defeat from the jaws of victory there, unfortunately for Chris, but a really good showing overall if you think that's still P2 in the race, isn't it? It's one of those bittersweet ones when something like that happens, because it's still a fantastic result, but you were so close to the outright win, as we see McKeevely lock up there.
A few lockups. I mean, what's the gap? 1.2 seconds. I think Costa knew he had that in the bag. I think he was just counting and then pitting, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think once he saw Forrester go into the pits, he just pushed as he needed to do, and then obviously saw that overspeed coming out of the pit lane as Costa got the win back.
That's true.
So here comes Anthony into the final. It's not the final complete. It always looks the same to me. This sort of the down and dip reminds me of that last sequence as well. Here's the oak tree.
Not there yet.
Oh, he's not going to make the fence. He is.
Oh no. Oh, same mistake Rich did, isn't it?
And where's he for position? Because his mate Meisters is not that far behind him. McKivley is moving again on the back straight, but he won't be up to speed. Oh, but has Meisters already got the checkered flag? Was he a lap down of the leaders?
I think he was.
Yeah, he's not pushing, is he? That's unfortunate for Rich then. So, the 3 AM bad cheese dreams of Virginia. Here's what happened to Barlow at the start then.
Death grass.
And that'll be why he lost so much time. That'll be a toe job.
Lost the wheel and the front wing. So you see Dano off the road here. Big look up.
Whoa!
Contact. Oh. How did he not lose a wheel from that?
The car was fully airborne. Here's Winslade and Molarin right at the start. Yeah, just sort of closed the door. Winslade and Molarin was still there.
Just look, there's like a gap in the track or something there. Oh. Sent them airborne. Looking at Rich. Another one of those spins, not much you can do.
Same thing, trying to recover off the death grass again once you lose your momentum. Oh, this is the bad one though. Just, it's so unfortunate.
It's just like the lightest of touches as well.
Just rips the wheels off.
Yeah.
So I'm still interested to see the incident that sort of puts Barlow out of the race. So we saw early on he had to use his fast repair, and then we saw him in the pits.
This one, isn't it? Because this is where Costa got caught up.
But even then, there's no damage on the car. So what actually? Costa lose so much time there. We saw Molarin hit the. There's the jump. Jeez.
The jump.
Dano's going to do the same, is he?
One,
oh!
Oh dear.
Does it roll? Yes, it does. Absolute barrel roll from Hammond.
Doesn't outright itself there. There's Anthony off the road.
This might have been that one right at the end, was it? When Meisters was catching?
No. This is because that's where he went into the tree. I think it's this one.
Ah, yes, absolutely.
Shame. He was looking good for a P4. And here are the results coming up then.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do you make of that one?
To say there was only 9 cars on the grid, we've had some pretty action-packed racing there, as we see Costa from Forrester, Hill from McKeevely, Meesters from Winslade, from Hammond, Molarin and Barlow picking up points for 9th position there. 11 laps down, sadly for him, but yeah, I'm interested to see if he'd not lost the sort of the potential for that fast repair early on, what he could have made out of that race.
I'd say well done to Costa though, the Club 1500 champion from last season.
Yeah, reigning champion.
First win of the season and championship standings there. Molarin still on top. How many points did he score? A few points, not that many, but Chris Forrester moving up 5 places, but Roberto Costa up 7 places. God, that's quite impressive. And we look at the championship standings for the teams.
Yes.
Promotes Wizards of Lifton Coast up into P1. They had 2 cars tonight versus QRS and CC Racing that only had 1.
Yeah, the Wizards are out in full force today. Obviously, we saw Winslade with the pole position but couldn't convert, sadly. That's going to be everything for this race, so don't forget to check out our Discord and the YouTube channel, of course. Subscribe if you've not done that already. Check out our website at limitofadhesion.com and our Facebook too.
Thank you very much.
See you next
See
time.
you in 2 weeks' time at Watkins.